All right. Today's agenda for this presentation, I've written down the agenda on here. First of all, it's going to be an introduction. My name is Sohaib Shams. I've joined EFU in the last year, and I've come from Pakistan to attend Sangfor Summit. Currently, I'm working in EFU from November as GMIT, and EFU has implemented complete HCI's solution, replacing their own traditional data center infrastructure. Moving on to Sangfor's SDDC, Software Defined Data Center. We had previously installed VDI solution back in 2019, just when COVID was at its peak, to support us in our work from home scenario, and it did help us tremendously. While I've recently joined EFU, I have had the experience, or rather, thank you, or rather the pleasure of working with Sangfor in the past companies as well. I was working quite a lot in the healthcare sector in Pakistan. I was working previously with Dow University of Health Sciences, which is one of the pioneers of healthcare services and medical education as well. So we implemented Sangfor's SD, software-defined data center solution there, and data center firewalls as well. The experience there was amazing, not only because of the product, majorly because of the support structure that Sangfor is offering. I mean, Adnan and his team in Pakistan, they're doing a really good job by exposing us to the technology that Sangfor has to offer on the table. Jackie takes personal interest in how the customers get to go through the life cycle of migration and transformation as well. I mean, Sangfor's solution, to be very honest, is a good solution. But what makes it best is the level of support and commitment from the Sangfor's team itself. The late night calls, the whole night runs from Sangfor's team. I mean, I haven't seen any other manufacturer do this before. Sorry, this is a bit funny. All right, thank you. So this is what it is. That's what makes Sangfor apart. That's what stands out, makes Sangfor stand out from the rest of the crowd. EFU is one of the leading life insurance service providers in Pakistan. Back in 1990, life insurance companies got a new license, so EFU was the first one to pioneer into the life insurance sector. Hence, the streak of having a habit of implementing newer things into the market. We've always had a nick for implementing technology, remaining cutting edge, and using technology as a leverage for our services that we are providing to the customers. The pain points that we had before adopting Sangfor, typically, I mean, you all can relate to it. They were typical IT departments problems that we were having. We had the problem of having commodity hardwares, having consistent performance and stability issues, three-tier legacy data center architecture, the run-of-the-mill stuff. CAPEX and OPEX, we all had to had SLAs with manufacturers of all sorts, different SLAs, impacting into our bottom line as well. And the biggest thing was the business continuity. I mean, having more SLAs, having more devices, having more vendors to deal with, ended up in impacting our business continuity. So we were looking for a solution that could offer us the scalability, the reliability, and resilience as well. So, it's not working again. Right. The problem of having different vendors in one room, in one rack, resulted in compromised performances. One device just wouldn't talk to the other one. We would resultantly have different human resources for each and every individual device or manufacturer. So that would impact in our performance. Then we had hardware vendor locking problem. I mean, we would have to talk to every vendor, so that would increase our management issues. We would have to go to every vendor. We would have to look into everyone's SLA, resulting in impact on our bottom line. Then there were third-party softwares. When we say third-party, we had problems with backup solutions. We had problems with storage. We had problems with applications talking to each other. So the management bit of the data center, that became very cumbersome. So we had to, these are the problems that we had. And the biggest thing was the support angle. More the devices, more the vendors, more hassles in getting support. Why did we prefer Sangfor as an option? Or why did we choose, or why did we even thought Sangfor was an option? Sangfor gave us, to be very honest, Sangfor gave us a peace of mind. That, I think, that was the biggest thing that the Sangfor gave to us. What I really mean about that is Sangfor's solution has a one-stop shop. It's a one-stop shop. The hardware, the application, the feature set, all of it is in one box. You don't have to go to other vendors for it. Then resultantly, since everything is on the same platform, they all have the same DNA, it will resultantly give out better performance. Then comes the deployment and migration services. When we use the word deployment and migration services in data center world, it usually ends up in a nightmare. But our own personal experience and my personal experience in 2 different organizations, or maybe 3 different organizations, deployment and migrations for Sangfor has never been a problem. Partly because of the solution itself, majorly because of the team that they have. The level of dedication that they give out to the customer, the level of dedication that they give out to the deployment time and to meet the deployment timelines project. Amazing, phenomenal. I mean, my experience in different organizations has been amazing. And all credit goes to Adnan and his team and Jackie for their support. And lastly, integrated backup solution. That's the thing I like most about Sangfor, because in any data center solution, the most critical thing is backup. If you don't have backups, or basically if you don't have backup in your DR or some other places, like 3 or 4 other places, the whole solution is completely a waste of time anyway. So the Sangfor solution, it gives out the backup inbuilt on the DNA, within the chromosomes. So it gives out a very good solution. So Sangfor's value-added solutions for EFU Life, it provided us the resilience and the security that we needed, that we wanted in a solution. It's easier to manage, and mostly convergence. All the hardwares, all the brands that we're dealing with before, we don't have to deal with before. So typically what we have done here is we have simplified our data center's footprint by 80%. The old data center, or the traditional data center architecture, was reduced by an 80%. All of the applications have been moved on to the same architecture. The ASAN, we don't need we had a HPE 3-part solution before. Now all of it is ASAN. And we've got ASV, ANET, and ASEC as well. So the solution that we implemented is not just a solution, it's our peace of mind as well. I mean, my head of infrastructure, he's got peaceful nights now. Before, he used to have very less sleeping time because of the worry that something might go wrong, or you would have talked to someone with a different vendor, and that would eventually result in blame shifting. Everyone would say that our devices are working, your devices or their devices are not working, they're not talking to each other. So that was the sort of discussion they would have in sort of in a scenario where things would have gone south. Sangfor's team gave us a complete roadmap on how we would transform our traditional data center architecture onto Sangfor's virtualized environment. So we had implemented Sangfor's HCI, we have implemented the VDI, now going on towards the enterprise cloud and maybe onwards to the hybrid cloud. The overall experience with Sangfor that we've had, it goes without saying, it's easier to manage because the solutions is of the same fabric. The team's always there. They're literally always there. You just give them a call and they just pick it up in the next couple of rings. It provides us business continuity. And when I say business continuity, we are in the business of providing life assurance. So the comfort zone for a client to know that the service provider is there whenever the customer needs it to be is very assuring, and that's the whole essence of the business. So the business continuity has to kick in immediately. That's what Sangfor has given us. It provides us better visibility. We have, since all the devices are talking to each other, they share the same DNA, they give us a single glass pane. We have a single observation view. Our database, our network administrators, our system administrators, they don't have to keep on switching between windows. It's one window, all of the things on one screen. It's easier to manage, and it gives them operational peace and quiet as well. And then, last but not least, well, in fact, the crux of the whole thing, the support and services by Sangfor. I mean, I cannot emphasize more on this, that the level of support that Sangfor, I mean, to be very honest, in a region like Pakistan, you would be surprised. I mean, and I was surprised the first time when 3 in the morning gave the call to Sangfor's helpline or the support person or POC, point of contact. That guy immediately took over on the remote session, and the problem that we had was sorted in about 10-15 minutes. This is not EFU, this is some other organization I'm talking about. But the level of support I'm trying to emphasize here, the level of support is phenomenal. My personal experience with regards to the HCI, the firewalls, be it the data center firewalls, be it the edge firewalls, be it the cyber command, I mean, I haven't found them short of excellent. Before, in a traditional data center environment, we had 40 machines running different applications, from our homegrown solution, our domain controller, our mail servers, and the rest. Now, after implementing HCI, it's reduced the footprint onto 15 servers. So having the hardware for 40 coming down to 15, to us is amazing. I mean, less resources, more performance, better optimization. So that's the beauty of having a hyper-converged infrastructure. And my experience with Sangfor's team, I mean, I've said it more times anyway, it's been brilliant. So that's from me. Thank you very much for your time. I hope I've shared my experience with you well. Thank you.